This is 6 simple steps to a healthy yet productive home. Step 1, please be unique. This goes for your home and for your life. Throughout the process of moving into this new space, I've been extremely intentional about the setup and the things that I've kept in my apartment. I wanted my space to be optimized for both health and productivity while also being cozy, inviting, a little sanctuary. So how you set up your environment is going to drastically change your life. Let the uniqueness of you shine through. Let your intentions thrive here in your space. Don't copy and paste. Your space is an extension of you. It's a little piece of who you are. So bring things into your space that give you joy, that motivate you, that bring energy. You have a certain uniqueness, certain skills, certain things that make you thrive. Bring that into your sanctuary. It's all about you. And the sooner you can be the real you, the sooner people who are looking for you can find you. Step 2, control your chaos. Bring order into your kingdom. Keep it clean. This will trick you and others into thinking you have your shit together, even though Lord knows nobody has their shit together. Again, your space is the extension of you. Is your space disordered? Then so are you. Life happens and chaos will ensue. It will come for you, it'll break down your walls, but like a king or queen of your kingdom, you fight back and you bring order back to your lands. So that might have been a little cheesy, but have control of your space. You know, for me, my kryptonite is clothes. I have this bad habit of, after I'm done wearing them, I just throw them on my bed or the floor. And also, I have long shifts as a nurse, so sometimes things get messy. But take a few moments to spiff it up. Step 3, access. Ponder access, easy access. Get your mind out of the gutter because I'm talking about easy access to your habits. Make it as natural as the birds and the bees, honey. The less resistance and friction there is to do something, the more likely we are to actually do it. And I chose this apartment that I live in now because it had access to a lot of the things that I wanted. It has a nice gym, a sauna, pool, hot tub. And it's close to where I mountain bike, play pickleball, basketball, nice walking area, hiking area. And believe me, I totally understand that we can't have everything in life, and no space is probably absolutely perfect, but consider access to healthy habits and a productive living space when you're choosing where you live, where you move to. And also make sure you consider the things that you're using frequently. For me, that's stuff like chargers and tripods. So I made sure that I had a setup ready to charge certain things, having all the cords easily accessible. One of the greatest things I've ever done in terms of access is this. This thing is freaking sweet. I spend so much time at my desk editing and working on things, like way too much time. And that takes away from time I could be spent moving and walking. So I thought, how can I combine walking and getting movement while also working, while also sitting and staring at this screen? And this is the best thing ever. I'm so happy I got this. Also, another cool thing is as I'm walking on here, if I just quit, just walk away, it'll just stop on its own. See? Now, as you can hear, there is a little bit of noise that comes from the treadmill. But all I do is wear headphones and turn on the noise cancellation, and problem solved. I can still edit the videos, still edit the sound, listen to a podcast, learn. I've also found that when I'm walking on there, I am way more focused. I don't know what it is. There's probably something to do with walking and psychology and how that makes you dial in and focus. You're already doing movement. It's harder to get bored when you're moving. And also a lot of times I'm like, I don't want to stop the treadmill right now. I want to keep going. I'm less likely to pick up my phone. So it's healthy, productive. I can't get enough of this thing. Step 4, keep it natty. Don't let your space be all up on steroids and chemicals like your local gym bro. Keep it natural. You know, as humans, we really are still animals. We still thrive in nature. Plants, greenery. Bring that to your space. Bring the outdoors in. Plants also double as air purifiers, keeping your space healthier. Stop using plastics. Use glass containers or ceramics. Bring into your space earthy and light colors. I like to bring in a lot of natural wood. Use essential oils for scents. Bring that outside in. Utilize natural light. Use that outdoor space. Go out on your balconies or your porches or your yards. Get that natural sunlight and use the natural light to guide how much light you're using in your place. When it's bright outside, Try to work and live in spaces where there is a lot of natural light. When it gets dark at night, I try to keep most of the lights off. Keep them low to the ground, really only using red lights, Himalayan salt lamps. Himalayan salt lamps just give a great vibe, a nice glow, and keep your space nice and cozy. Now your sleep environment should be dark. It should be cold. It should feel like a cave. Cold but cozy. My little apartment actually doesn't have a window in the bedroom, and I actually love that. I can make my room dark at any time, allowing some good, deep sleep. So I recently got this grounding pillow, which is actually very affordable. It's supposed to ground you, or sometimes people call it earthing. This aims to stabilize your body's bioelectrical circuits. What it's really doing is reducing inflammation. But think about how much time we spend in bed. So ideally, being grounded while you sleep should drastically reduce your inflammation. I've only been using it for a little bit, but I've actually noticed that I've been sleeping a lot better. I also sometimes use mouth tape, which I've talked about before. It's a crazy concept, but it's a lot more popular than it used to be, and a lot of people are on the mouth tape train now. Sometimes I use these nasal strips just to open up the nares more and to nasal breathe better. Step 5, strategize. Now you don't have to be an absolute nerd about discipline and getting things done, but you need to make a strategy to actually achieve the goals that you want to. One of the best things I've introduced recently is physical timers. And yes, you have timers on your phones and watches and shit. Using physical timers is just a game changer. It works differently and it works well. One of the best things I've done is use these timers as a little game, especially if I'm not in the mood to work on something. Like, okay, fine. You don't want to work on this, you don't need to work on it, but let's just set a timer for 10 minutes and you can quit after that 10 minutes. I just need 10 minutes of work, that's it. So I'll set my timer to 10 minutes, put my phone aside, and I'll focus. And I promise you, almost every single time, 9 out of 10 times, you'll find that all of a sudden you get into the zone, you dial in, and you get into this flow state. 3 hours later, I'm still working on it. That's also an ADHD symptom, but anyways. I also utilize the physical timers for things like cooking, obviously, but even as a game to see how fast I can put away laundry, how fast I can clean the room. And as a competitive person, gamifying your life works extremely well. You also need a strategy to how you're going to stay active, how you're going to compete, because these are essential things to humans. Join rec leagues and sports leagues. For me, playing in basketball leagues, playing pickleball with friends, mountain biking is part of the strategy of life. These things are baked into my schedule. Another important piece to strategy is gathering health data. It's so much easier to understand your health when you actually have data to back it up. And for me, I use an Apple Watch during activities and pretty much all day long. So that gives me actionable data that I can actually use. I've really been reviewing data on it more closely lately, like heart rate variability, paces during things like biking or running, perceived levels of exertion, daily step counts. And once you start paying more attention to your health data, you will also take more actionable steps to get better. I've been watching my step count a lot more, and now I'm always making sure that I'm actually reaching my step count goals. And also be strategic about your work environments, why things are placed where, strategically having easy access to other things, and having difficult access to the things that we don't want. And that brings us to step 6, friction. For those habits that you need to kick, create friction. Make the access to them very difficult. This is the opposite of what we discussed earlier with access. It's kind of hard to eat chips if you don't have chips in the house. I mean, yeah, you can go get some, but just the friction alone of thinking, oh, I gotta go to the gas station, or oh, I gotta go to the grocery store just to eat chips, is difficult. Getting rid of things that waste your time that aren't getting you to where you want to be in life.